Hey YouTubers, my name is X Factor, and based on this screenshot right here, the L85 is so good that it aims for you. Definitely the best gun in the game. Wait a minute, that's not what he means. My bad. Welcome to my first round of actually using the L85, and I'm starting off with naked setup. Nothing on this thing. As you see me unlock the reflex, which I believe is 10 kills in. Now, the stock irons on this gun are not horrible. But as I strafe side to side while aiming down sight or ADSing, you're going to see the bezel kind of get in the way. And if you do this weird strafing and then ADS, it really gets in the way. So be careful of that. My advice is go ADS, then peek a corner. And again, I've talked about that before. If you ADS and shoot too quickly, you still have that hip-fire bullet pattern, which is not good. Because if you're going ADS, you definitely want the precision of that ADS deviation, which is a heck of a lot less than in hipfire mode. And this gun stock without a laser sight, as I sit still, watch my crosshairs in hipfire mode, it's a nice tight pattern. Now this right here. So you get used to using irons in Battlefield 4. And then you switch to a reflex, Cobra, or Coyote. That presents a small issue compared to Battlefield 3. In Battlefield 3, if you used irons, a reflex, or Cobra, it had the same sensitivity. So as you're ADSing and moving your gun side to side, the sensitivity would be the same. Well, in Battlefield 4, they have changed that. Irons now have a different sensitivity than the optics in the game. So what does that really mean? Just as you get used to the irons sensitivity while ADSing, aiming down sight, you go to upgrade to an optic of choice, whether it's Cobra, Reflex, or Coyote, and it's changed on you. Not to mention, let's talk about this. You've got your pistol, which probably doesn't have an optic on it, just basic irons. But your guns do have an optic, a Cobra, Reflex, a Coyote. They're now different sensitivities. So every time you grab your pistol in ADS, then grab your primary of choice in ADS and it has an optic on it, it's going to be a different sensitivity. And of course that was always the case with the different optics in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 as you got to the 3.4s, the hollows, the one-time optics, and beyond. The sensitivity scales accordingly. But they threw in a wild card in Battlefield 4. And I don't know if that's a bug or if that's intended, because there are a couple bugs within the mechanics of Battlefield 4 that they are working on. And here you see I've got a laser sight on this thing now. I've got my reflex on there, and this thing just destroys people point blank. But it should, because it shoots 800 rounds a minute. The question is, how much do you give up at medium and longer ranges? Now, the thing I've noticed about the L85 is I do not prefer this gun at longer ranges. I actually prefer the Ace II-III. Why? Because this has a lot of horizontal bounce, left to right bounce when ADSing, and you really need to burst fire this. So I've killed quite a few people in the stairway that like to head glitch that first level and then that top level where the windows are. And there are times where if I had the Ace II-III, I would have been able to 4 or 5 shot them, no problem. But this gun, you really got to burst it more. But up close, just hold the trigger. And of course, hip firing isn't the best in Battlefield 4, even with the laser sight. And there you see me trying to hold a quick cooking lesson as I use the incinerator there. It doesn't have the best hip fire, but this is a pretty strong hip fire gun. Not as good as some of the PDWs, but pretty darn good. And you can see me trying to shoot at range while pointing. So not too bad. I'm actually pretty impressed with this weapon. I will definitely put it in my top 3 ARs, and I'll actually be making a video on that very shortly to talk about the pros and the cons of all 3 ARs, and there you see more hipfire action. And whenever I do stuff like this, this is me kind of testing the weapon. I'm going to try to hipfire at longer ranges to see what I can get away with, see how I have to burst it, and see if I can basically pull it off. Because again, if I don't have to ADS, that's a split second I gain, and then I can be putting bullets into that guy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick L85 gameplay. If you guys enjoyed this, learned something today, don't forget about the old thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll see you guys soon.